start. This is the introduction for inorganic chemistry. This subject class is included in the area 1 of the board exam. So this is again one of the subject na una niyong iti-take during the boards. So first day ito, first exam. Kaya first year siya binibigay. This will act as, this will serve as foundation ninyo for all the other chemistry that we have in pharmacy. So ang walay kamatayang pangutana, what is chemistry? What is chemistry? How do you define chemistry? This is the study of what?
Study of elements and compounds, ma'am.
Yes, study of elements and compounds. Very good. What else?
Study of properties and behavior of matter, ma'am.
Yes, tama po. Very good. So, when you say study of chemicals, to simplify everything, when you say chemistry, it's the study of matter. Matter class is anything that has space and has mass and occupies space now. That's matter. So included din ang elements, tanan klaseng chemicals, compounds, studyhan nato siya for chemistry. Okay? Again, anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. And in chemistry, we are going to study its composition, the structure of matter, all the changes that matter undergoes. So we will be dealing with physical and chemical changes also, and all the energy involved in such changes and interactions. Ito yung ating pag-aaralan the whole semester. Okay? Nabaliktad. Anyway, let's differentiate mass and weight. Ano bang difference nito? When you say mass, it refers to the amount of material or matter present in that substance or in that material. Like, for example, a human body. Lahat ng composition dyan sa human body, blood, water, and all the other things na makita nato sa body that will be the mass. Pero pag sinabing weight, it's the mass and the influence of gravity. So your mass here sa Philippines will be just the same with your mass if pupunta ka ng Mars. Parehas lang yon kasi it's the same amount of matter na nasa body mo. Pero pag sinabing weight, magkaiba na yon. Your weight here in the Philippines is not the same with your weight doon sa Mars. Kasi the influence of gravity here on Earth and Mars are not the same. Actually, ang weight natin class sa Philippines and ang weight nyo doon kung pupunta kayo ng North Pole ay different. Kasi the pull of gravity there is different din. Pero yung mass natin, the same lang. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Walang mako-confuse between mass and weight. You can ask question anytime if you want to clarify something. You can unmute your mic or you can send your questions sa chat. Kung maulaw mo, pwede ra kaayo ninyo i-private chat. Diba pwede man i-private din sa chat. Private na lang kung maulaw mo. Okay, so units of measurement. We will be dealing with the international standard of units, or that's what we call the SI unit. For length, we will be using meter. That's the SI unit. For mass, it's the kilogram. But in the laboratory, since our balances use grams, then we'll be using grams. Though, if you're asked what is the international standard unit for mass, it will always be kilogram. For time, it's the second. And for temperature, that will be in Kelvin. Though in the Philippines, most of the time, we are using Celsius. At mga temperature or mga thermometer din naka-Celsius. But the international unit for temperature is Kelvin. What is the reason for that? Only Kelvin class has the absolute zero. Pag sinabing zero, 0 Kelvin, zero talaga yon. Zero talaga ang temperature niya. Unlike for Celsius and Fahrenheit, pwede tayong mag-negative, 'di ba? May mga places tayo, for example, na naga-snow sa ilaha dito, ang ilahang temperature nagababa, example, negative 10 degrees Celsius. So, ang zero ni Celsius is not really absolute. Unlike Kelvin, na zero is really zero. So, that is the reason why our international standard unit for temperature is Kelvin. Okay? Do you have questions? Wala. So, mag-temperature conversion ta. Nanatay, solving din he. Gagian man ninyo nitong high school, no? Pero, let's have a review. If we want to interconvert Fahrenheit to Celsius, we are going to use this formula. Degree Celsius is equal to degree Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5 over 9. Wait lang, I need my... Asa akong tab? Wait lang. Gusto ko magsulat sa screen. Saan ako gibutang ko ang writing pad? Ay, darada. If you want to copy, you can copy that. Pero after the discussion, I'll be giving you a copy of the slide. It's my pen. Okay. Sige. So ito yung ating formula. Pagbaliktad, degree Fahrenheit is equal to degree Celsius times 9 over 5 plus 32. Pero I actually don't use this formula. Kaya hangtod karon naglibog gihapon ko sa 5 over 9 o sa 9 over 5. Pag lisod jud kog memorize ana nila ambot lang ano. So I'm using this formula class. Degree Celsius is equal to degree Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 1.8. To simplify things. Para dito maglibog asa si 5 over 9 and asa si 9 over 5 ibutang. And then for degree Fahrenheit, I'm using this one. Degree Celsius times 1.8 plus 32. Ano yung akong ginagamit? Instead of the 9 over 5 and 5 over 9, I'm using the 1.8. You will get the same answer with this formula. Para ma-simplify na to ang mga things. And then if we want to convert degree Celsius to Kelvin, let's just add 273. There are references na para maging precise siya, nilalagyan nila ito ng 273.15. So this is just a trivia. At negative 40, this is the only temperature wherein the degree Celsius and the degree Fahrenheit are the same. So let me show you that one. Example, the temperature is negative 40 degrees. Negative 40 degrees Celsius. And then let us convert this to degree Fahrenheit. So we'll be using this formula. Kay Fahrenheit man atong ginapangita. So, degree Fahrenheit is equal to degree Celsius. That's negative 40 times 1.8 plus 32. So, syempre sa math, PEMDAS. Una ang nasa parenthesis. Negative 40 times 1.8. This is negative 72 plus 32. What's the answer? Syempre, negative 40. So, negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So, this is the only temperature na magpantay na silang duha. Negative 40 degrees Celsius is equivalent to negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This one is just a trivia. And this is how you're going to do the computation. Questions? Or you want to clarify something about the computation? Okay, sige. Can I delete the writings on the screen now? Okay. Sige. Up, Kelvin. Sige, I'll give you an example for the Kelvin. What is the normal body temperature? What's the normal body temperature?
37.5.
Sige, actually, na siya, range na siya ang normal body temperature. It's between 36.5 to 37, not 0.5, it's 0.6, 0.4, sorry. 36.4 to 37.6. Okay? Ito yung range ng ating body temperature, so that's accepted. Pero actually, kung mag 37.6 ka, marag matingog na yun ang sa mall, ani, kaya marag taas na siya nga temperature. But definitely, that is still accepted. So let's just use the normal one, 37 degrees Celsius. Ito talaga yung tinitingnan natin and ina-accept natin na normal body temperature. Now, if you want to convert this into Kelvin, we'll just use this formula. Kelvin is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273. So degrees Celsius, that's 37 plus 273. So 273 plus 37, this is 310 Kelvin. So ganun lang yung pag-convert. Pero kung ang given class is degree Fahrenheit, so ang gagawin nyo, convert nyo muna siya to degrees Celsius before kayo makakapag-convert into Kelvin. So marami kayong dadaanan na computation before tayo makakuha ng Kelvin. If ever lang na Fahrenheit ang given, tapos ipa-convert into Kelvin. Okay? So ito lang, hindi naman siya masyadong complicated. And by the way, do not forget, si Celsius and si Fahrenheit, may degrees yan sila. Pero si Kelvin, it's just Kelvin. Walang degree. Walang degree. Kasi ito yung minsan mali ng student nilalagyan ng degrees ang Kelvin. Wala yan siyang degrees. Okay? Questions? We need to show you an example of degrees Fahrenheit to Kelvin.
Ma'am, pwede yung example atong conversion from F to K, ma'am?
F to K. Okay, sige. So example, you have 98 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you are asked to convert this into Kelvin. So the first thing that you are going to do, since we don't have a direct formula, wala tayong formula that will convert Fahrenheit to Kelvin directly. So ang gagawin, degrees Fahrenheit ka muna to Celsius. So anong formula natin? Degrees Celsius is equal to degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. Ito lang yung gamitin ko ha. Maglibog ko ng 5/9. Okay lang karon kay na may copy sa screen. Pero pag wala na copy sa screen, naglibog na ko ng 5/9 and 9/5. So let's simplify our lives. So degrees Celsius is equal to 98 minus 32 divided by 1.8. So let's do the math. 98 minus 32 is 66 divided by 1.8. Degrees Celsius is divided by 1.8 is 36. I'll just round it off to 2 decimal places, 36.67. Again, this is degrees Celsius. So kapag meron na tayong degrees Celsius, ito na yung time na mako-convert natin siya sa Kelvin. So this will be 36.67 Ito, degrees Celsius plus 273. Plus 273. This is 309.67 Kelvin. So ito na yung final answer. This is how you convert again Fahrenheit to Kelvin. Daanan mo muna si Celsius before ka makakapunta kay Kelvin. Kasi again, wala tayong direct conversion for this. Okay lang sana kung Celsius to Kelvin kasi diretso na. Any question? Wala?
None na po, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Miss Summer. You're raising your hand.
Ma'am, di ba po sa Kelvin kay may 0.15 po?
0.15.
Or wala na po, ma'am?
Let's not use the 0.15 na lang. Yung 0.15, ginagamit natin siya to be more precise with the temperature. But most of the time kasi sa pharma, we are dropping the 0.15. May mga references din tayo kasi 'di ba na ganito siya, 273.15. Pero okay na nawala ito.
Okay po, ma'am. Salamat po.
Okay. Sige. So, what time is it? I still have 30 minutes. Wala nang question doon. Let's move on to the classification of matter. So, remember matter, anything that occupies space, yes, and has mass. So, lahat ng nakikita niyo dyan na nag-occupy ng space and merong mass, matter ang tawag natin. So, how do we classify matter? This is how we classify matter, class. We have matter can be classified into pure substance or pwede din mixture. Under sa pure substance, ito yung elements natin and pwede ding compound. Okay, dalawa yan sila ha, under sa pure substance. Ito yung sinabi kanina, sino yung sumagot, na chemistry is the study of elements and compounds. That is true. That is correct. Now, pwede din natin i-classify ang matter as mixture. Now, sa mixture, meron din tayong dalawang types. It can be a homogeneous mixture or a heterogeneous mixture. So, isa-isahin natin silang lahat, yung classification ng matter natin. So, kung nakikita niyo sa element class, this is composed of one atom or one type of atom only. That's an element. So this is the simplest matter, the element. Now, if we are going to combine chemically one element to another element or even three elements combined together, then that's the time we call it a compound. So the combination class here is chemical, chemical combination, meaning there is a chemical reaction. So na-form yung ating compound. Now, anong kaibahan ni compound doon sa mixture? Pag sinabing mixture class, it's a combination na physical combination only. Walang chemical reaction na nangyari dito. Ano yung nag-combine? It can be an element plus a compound or a compound plus another compound. Okay? Ito, element plus another element. And they are combined chemically with each other. Dito sa mixture, pwedeng element plus compound or pwedeng compound and another compound, but the combination is just physical. There is no chemical reactions here. Okay? Pero yung simplest matter natin, element, kasi this is just composed of one type of atom. Sige daw. Let me check. Give me an example of an element. Again, give me an example of an element.
Nitrogen.
Okay, sige, carbon. kaya nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine. These are all examples of element. When we look at the atoms, they are just one type of atom. They are composed of one type of atom. When you say carbon element, it is composed of carbon atom only. So yan din yung name ng kanyang atom. So one type lang. Pero how about a compound? Can you give me an example of a compound? Anong example ng compound natin?
Table salt, ma'am.
Sulfuric acid po.
Very good. Table salt
Vinegar.
and sige. Ano sila? Table salt. Table salt class is sodium chloride. Okay? Sodium chloride. That's our table salt. Ginagamit natin as condiment. That's NaCl. So ano nakita nyo dito? One atom is combined to another atom. So we have sodium atom here combined to chloride atom. That forms the sodium chloride. And they are combined chemically with each other. So that's a compound. Tama din yung, ano pa yung sinabi niyo kanina? Hydrochloric acid. Tama ba? May nagsabing hydrochloric acid kanina, no? So hydrogen atom is combined chemically with the chloride atom. Potassium bicarbonate. Yes, that is also correct. Potassium bicarbonate. So this is KHCO3. Okay? So ito, unlike with the other two examples, maraming klaseng atoms ito, pero compound pa rin ang tawag sa kanya. Okay? Potassium, hydrogen, carbon, and 3 atoms of oxygen are combined chemically in potassium bicarbonate. That is also correct. Water is also an example of a compound. And ano yung sinabing isa kanina? Sugar. Table sugar, no? Table sugar, yung ginagamit natin as sugar talaga, the sucrose. Sucrose is C12, H22O11. So that's 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen, and 11 atoms of oxygen. That's for the sucrose, or that's what we call a table sugar. Ito, table sugar, ito table salt. Compounds ito. Now, how about a mixture? I'll give you an example of a mixture. Pag si sodium chloride, ang asin, tinunaw natin sa water. Ang tawag natin dyan, salt solution. Ito na yung example ng mixture class. Kasi remember, this one is a compound, this is another compound, and they are physically combined with each other only. Tawag natin salt solution, mixture na yan siya. Okay? Walang chemical reaction na nangyari sa kanilang dalawa. Pag tinunaw mo yung asin sa tubig, physical reaction lang yan siya. Physical na combination. Even yung sugar na itutunaw natin sa water, mixture pa rin. Sand and water is also a mixture. Walang chemical reaction na nangyari dyan. Daw nag-combine sila, nakita mo na hindi naman talaga natunaw si sand, pero nagkaroon ng combination sa kanilang dalawa. Sand and water, mixture pa rin yon. Oil and water is also a mixture. Okay? Yes, sugar and water also. Now, my question is, how about our blood? Dugo, blood natin. Saan yan siya mabebelong? Element, compound, or mixture? Smoke and fog is correct. That's a mixture. Pero sige, blood. What do you think? I'll wait for the others. Nasagutin ako kung saan nabilong ang...
Mixture, ma'am.
Sino yun? Sorry, hindi ko nakita. Sige. Okay. Sige, the correct answer, class, is our blood is a mixture. Okay? Again, our blood is a mixture. And to be specific, our blood is a heterogeneous mixture. When you say homogeneous, one phase only yan siya. One uniform appearance. So kagaya ng salt solution, pag natunaw na yung lahat ng salt na particle sa water, isang appearance na lang ang nakita mo doon. Liquid na lang siya na phase din. So homogeneous mixture yon. Pero pag maraming phases, maraming hindi uniform yung appearance, heterogeneous mixture yun siya. So for our blood, it's a heterogeneous mixture. Meron siyang serum, merong water, merong mga solid na mga components yung ating blood. So iba-iba yun sila. They are not chemically combined with each other, ha? Sa blood, makikita natin yung red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, mga elements, may mga compounds na makikita dyan sa blood. Meron pang gas dyan, syempre the oxygen. Merong mga solid materials, yung mga cells, solid yon. Merong liquid materials sa blood, and that is the water, for example. So maraming phases, maraming appearances na makikita sa blood. So that is the reason why we classify it as a heterogeneous mixture. Okay? Questions? Yeah, platelets are also found sa blood. Sige. Another question, how about the air? The air, ha? Air. Saan natin ika-classify yung hangin? Hangin yung hinatanong ko.
Mixture po, ma'am.
Okay. Sige. May nag-answer ng element and merong mixture. Pero class, the correct answer for air is mixture. And to be specific, that is a homogeneous mixture. Okay? Again, air is a homogeneous mixture. Ano meron sa air? Homogeneous siya kasi isang phase lang naman yung air at saka actually hindi natin siya nakikita. It's a gas. Pero anong meron sa air? Meron diyang oxygen, meron diyang nitrogen, meron diyang hydrogen, meron ding helium dyan, and then meron ding argon. So marami masyadong elements na makikita dyan sa hangin natin. And they are not chemically combined. Nandyan lang sila sa air. Walang chemical reaction. So class, mixture yan. Mixture yung ating air, pero homogeneous kasi isa lang yung appearance nila. Gas lang silang lahat. Okay? Nalibog mo sa inyong elements, compound and mixtures. Ganito, ang tandaan ninyo, pag element, syempre simplest form of matter yan, isang kind of material or atom. And kapag wala siya sa periodic table, hindi yun siya element. Meaning yan, lahat ng nasa periodic table nyo, yun yung tatawagin lang nating element. And pag siya lang isa ang nag-exist, like sodium, sodium lang talaga, oxygen, oxygen lang talaga, yun lang yung tatawagin nating element. So, unsa oxygen na yun. Mao na nga element inyong answer sa air. Kay ang inyong gihuna-huna, oxygen. Do not forget class na ato ang air aside from oxygen also contain other gases. Even carbon dioxide, nakalimutan kong isulat kanina. Carbon dioxide is also found in our air. So, mixture siya. Wala siyang chemical reaction with the oxygen though. Nag-exist lang talaga yan siya dyan sa air. So, mixture ang ating hangin. Okay? Si Avatar. Wala ko nagatanaw, I know that one exists. Like, di ba, may palabas na nga na. Pero, wala mong po nagatanaw. Wala ko nagatanaw, wala ko like time and siguro wala lang dyan kung nagkaroon ng interest. Ana namang butang. So, dili kay ko familiar. Palabas na, di ba? Anyway, mo na siya. Be acquainted with the elements found in the periodic table so you will automatically know if you are going to classify that as an element or not. Okay. Sige. Now, how about the compound? Substance composed of two or more elements united. Take note, this is underlined. Chemically indefinite proportion. So number 1, example yung water natin, H2O. We have at least 2 elements here, and these two elements, though 3 atoms sila lahat kasi 2 atoms ng hydrogen, these atoms are chemically combined with each other. That is why water is formed. And take note, underline din ito, definite proportion. So when you say definite proportion, para water talaga siya, it is a requirement na 2 hydrogen ang magko-combine sa isang oxygen. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng gawing ganito. Okay? Kasi pag sinabing water, 2, 2:1 lang talaga yung proportion. Hindi pwedeng 2 si oxygen. Kasi hindi na yan matatawag na water. Ang tawag na dito is hydrogen peroxide. Okay? You know hydrogen peroxide? So, brand name ani sa market sa hydrogen peroxide? Wala may idea? Kung saan na? It's agua oxigenada. So, gamit ani? So, gamit na to sa agua oxigenada.
Sa samad, ma'am.
Linis po ng sugat mo.
Very good.
Samad.
Yeah. Agua oxigenada, hydrogen peroxide is used as antiseptic. Antiseptic atong tawagan na ha. By the way, disinfectant, para dili pud mo ma-confuse ani before tayo mag-end. Disinfectant and antiseptic are two different things. Okay? Sa kalahian nila. When you say, diri sa sa kung unsa ilang magkapareho, mag-drawing na lang taog. Isang tawag anong chart yan. Kani. Ayan. This one is disinfectant. Kailangan din ako ng circle, but anyway, sulat na ako siya. Disinfectant na. Kani antiseptic. Say magkapareho sila, they are used to either kill or prevent growth of bacteria. Muna ang magkapareho sila. If we want to either kill or prevent the growth of bacteria, we either use disinfectant or antiseptic. Pero what's the difference? Antiseptic are used for live tissues, while this one is used for fomites. When you say fomites, non-living things. So for example, hydrogen peroxide, ingon mo kagainag, ginagamit siya ma'am panghugas sa samad. So kana inyong samad, ang inyong body parts, living tissues man na. So antiseptic ang tawagan na. Okay? Alcohol can also be used, can be classified as antiseptic. Ginagamit natin siya sa ato ang kamot, especially during pandemic na grabe ang gamit sa alcohol, panlinis sa kamay, for example. Pero pag disinfectant, ginagamit natin siya for non-living things. Example, if you want to clean your table and nagamit mo alcohol can also be called a disinfectant, or you can use the Lysol, or you're going to use the ano nga yung isa dyan? Brand name mo Zonrox o Clorox, sodium hypochlorite. Mga disinfectant na sila, kaya ginagamit nato sila to kill or prevent the growth of bacteria sa non-living things. So sa living things, we have the alcohol, the hydrogen peroxide, the iodine povidone, ano ang brand name yan? Betadine is under the antiseptic. antiseptic. So, giano lang ako siya, gisingit lang ako na siya sa discussion. Pero actually, ang akong i-discuss dyan kay ang compound that is chemically combined with each other, mga elements na na-combine, pero in definite proportion. So, example na dito ang water, H2O lang yun na siya. Kung sodium chloride po, sodium and chloride, the table salt, isa-isa lang na siya, 1:1. 1 sodium combined to 1 chlorine. Dili pwede class nga NaCl2. This is wrong. So, dili na siya table salt. Dili na siya asin. So, definite proportion ang atuang compounds. Okay? So, I think dito ako mag-end sa aking discussion muna. Next meeting, we will be discussing the mixtures and how are we going to identify heterogeneous from homogeneous mixtures. Okay? Questions so far or clarification as a surgery? Yes, a surgery. The doctors use either the betadine, the povidone iodine. That's the generic name of betadine, ha? Povidone iodine. Brand name ng betadine. And hydrogen peroxide can also be used as antiseptic. Ang uban kanang example magpa-vaccine ka, mag-inject, ang ginagamit nila na antiseptic alcohol lang. Kana trapuhan nila, di ba? Antiseptic lang na to kill or to prevent growth of microorganisms sa imuhang skin. Okay? Anything else? Wala na? Okay, mag-end na to. What is your next class?